Information age, also known as the computer age, digital age, or new media age, is a historical period that began in the mid-20th century, characterized by a rapid epochal shift from the traditional industry established by the Industrial Revolution to an economy primarily based upon information technology. Information age timeline. Telegraph started on 1830. After many years, telephone was invented on 1876, followed by radio on 1920s. And after that, television was invented on 1927. Computer was on 1943. Cell phone on 1973. And last but not the least, internet on 1983.
As man evolved, information and its dissemination has also evolved in many ways. Eventually, we no longer keep them to ourselves. Instead, we share them and manage them in different means. In the 1990s, information became the currency in the business world. Information was preferred medium or exchange, and the information managers served as information officers. The information age will continue to move forward and far greater than our minds could imagine.
As the world exists, the high technology come out, which the computer has a big role in our community. Computer, it is electronic devices that stores and processes data.
Keyboard, computer can receive input from the user. So there are 7 types of computer. The number 1 is personal computer.
Desktop computer. Number 3, laptops. Number 4, personal digital assistants. Number 5, server. Number 6, mainframes. Number 7, wearable computers. And personal computer or PC, it means it is a singular user instrument. PCs were first known as microcomputers since they were complete computers but built on a smaller scale than the enormous system operated by most business. Now is desktop computer. So a workstation is simply a desktop computer that has more powerful processor, additionally memory, and enhanced capabilities for performing special group of tasks such as 3D graphics or game development. Or desktop computer, it is described as a PC that is not designed for portability, or it is the assumption with a desktop is that it will be set up in a permanent spot. Number 3 is laptops. There are portable computers that integrate the essentials of a desktop computer and a battery-powered package, which are somewhat larger than typically hardcover book. They are commonly called notebooks. Another types of computer, which is it is the number 4, the personal digital assistants. So these are tightly integrated computers that usually have no keyboard. So remind everybody that have no keyboard but rely on touch screen for user input. So have no keyboard but rely on a touch screen for user input. So, it is also typically smaller than a paperback, lightweight, and battery powered. So, the number 5 is server. Number 5 is server. It refers to a computer that has been improved to provide network. That is the server. To provide network services to other computers. Okay, to give services to another computer. So server also is usually boast powerful processors, tons of memory, and large hard drives. So the number 6 types which is in the number 6, we have the mainframes. There's a huge computer system. So it is huge computer system that can fill in entire room. They are used especially by large firms to describe the large. It is expensive machines that process millions of transactions every day. The term mainframe has been replaced by the enterprise server, although some supercomputers are single computer system. Most comprise multiple high-performance parallel computers working as a single system. And the number 7 for the last types of the computer is the wearable computers. Again, wearable computers, it means it involves here the materials that are usually integrated and into cell phones, watches, and other small objects or places. So integrated into cell phones, the watches, and the other small objects or places. And it is the key perform common computer applications such as databases, email, multimedia, and schedulers.
It is another way to describe the Internet, which is a network of computers which are connected and that shared information and allow communication around the world. Claude E. Shannon, he was a mathematician who was considered as the father of information theory. He worked at Bell Laboratories at the age of 32. He published a paper proposing that information can be quantitatively encoded as a sequence of ones and zeros. The Internet is a worldwide system of interconnected networks that facilitates data transmission among innumerable computers. It was developed during 1970s by the Department of Defense. In the early days, the Internet was used mainly by scientists to communicate with other scientists. One early problem faced by the Internet users was speed. Phone lines could only transmit information at a limited rate. The development of fiber optic cables allowed for billions of bits of information to be received every minute. Companies like Intel developed faster microprocessors so personal computers could process the incoming signals at more rapidly. Serge Brin and Larry Page, directors of a Stanford research project, built a research engine that listed results to reflect page popularity when they determined that the most popular result would frequently be the most stable. After talking with family, friends, and other investors into contributing $1 million, the research launched the company in 1998, and now Google is the world's most popular search engine, accepting more than 2 million queries daily. The current information age has spawned its own breed of wealthy influential brokers, from Microsoft Bill Gates to Apple Steve to Facebook Mark Zuckerberg. Companies whose businesses are built on digitizing information have become valuable and powerful in a relatively short time. The Internet created a technological divide that increased the gap between the members of the higher class and lower class of society, where those who could not afford a computer or a monthly access fee were denied to have this responsibility. Many deprived into the impersonal nature of electronic communication compared to a telephone call or a handwritten letter. There are many changes brought by the unregulated and loose nature of the Internet. It allowed pornography to be broadcast to millions of homes. Protecting children from these influences or even from meeting violent predators would prove to be difficult. Nowadays, crimes in various forms are rampant because of the use of social media. Cyberbullying is an issue that possesses alarm worldwide. Consequently, you need to be aware of the possible harm and damage due to abuse of this advanced information age. And next, we will tackle about the applications of computers in science and research. One of the significant applications of computers for science and research is evident in the field of bioinformatics. What is bioinformatics? Bioinformatics is the application of information technology to store, organize, and analyze vast amounts of biological data, which is available in the form of sequences and structures of proteins, the building blocks of organisms, and nucleic acid, the formation carrier. And according to our research, bioinformatics is the combination of biology and information technology. The discipline encompasses any computational tools and methods used to manage, analyze, and manipulate large sets of biological data. Essentially, bioinformatics has three components. First component is the creation of databases, allowing the storage and management of large biological data sets. Second component, the development of algorithms and statistics to determine relationships among members of large data sets. And lastly, the use of these tools for the analysis and interpretations of various types of biological data, including the DNA, RNA, and protein sequences, protein structures, gene expressions profiles, and biochemical pathways. And computers are important in bioinformatics for two reasons. First, many bioinformatics problems requires the same task to be repeated millions of times. For example, comparing a new sequence to every other sequence stored in a database, or comparing a group of sequences systematically to determine evolutionary relationships. In such cases, the ability of the computers to process information, thus alternative solutions rapidly, is indispensable. Second, computers are required for their problem-solving power, typically problems that might be addressed using bioinformatics could include solving the folding pathways of proteins given its amino acid sequence, or deducing a biochemical pathway given a collection of RNA expressions profiles. Computers can help with such problems, but it is important to note that expert input and robust original data are also required.
Today, we generally use technology. We have now modern computer, laptop, smartphones, tablet, and etc. that serve as our tool of communicating, interacting, posting, and a lot more. And we have now many social media platforms that could serve as our means of communicating other people. Those gadget or tool that I mentioned earlier is not only a tool of communication, but can be also your way for searching something. If we are using those gadgets to search, there are many different websites that came out and can give you a lot of answer or ideas. So we should check if those websites are reliable or not. And today, I will discuss it to you on how to check reliability of web sources. Who is the author of the article or site? Look for an about or more about the author. Does the author provide his or her credentials? Does he or she indicate what his or her education is? What type of experience does he or she have? Should you trust his or her knowledge of the subject? Try searching on the internet for an information about the author. What kinds of websites are associated with the author's name? Do commercial sites came up? Who published the site? Look out the domain name of the website that will tell you who is hosting the site. Search the domain name. Do not ignore the suffix on the domain name. What is the main purpose of the site? To sell a product, as a personal hobby, as public service, to further scholarship on a topic, to provide general information on a topic, to persuade you of a particular point of view. Who is intended audience? Scholars of the general public. Which age group is writing for? Is it aimed at people from a particular geographic area? It is aimed at members of a particular profession or with a specific training? What is the quality of information provided on the website? Timeliness? When was the website first published? Is it regular updated? Check the date. Does the author cite sources? What type of other sites does the website link to? What types of sites link to the website you are evaluating?
So, here are some examples of useful and reliable web sources. So first, we have Google Scholar. So Google Scholar, it provides a simple way of broadly search for scholar literature. So if you wanna use Google Scholar, you must cite some information like the author's name, like that. And the next one is the Microsoft Academic. So Microsoft Academic is a free public web search engine for academic literature. So you can search there some academic purposes or some articles. So the third one is the RefSeek. So RefSeek is a web search engine for students and researchers to aim academic information easily accessible to everyone. So it is easily accessible. So you can search there easily as well. It is reliable web sources. So the next one is the OCLC, or the Online Computer Library Center. It is an organization that promotes cooperation among libraries worldwide. So it is useful also. It is reliable web sources. So the next one is the Core. So Core is an academic search engine dedicated to open access research papers. So if you have some research papers, so you can search there. The next one is Dogpile or dogpile.com. It is a part of InfoSpace online family of web search and online directory properties. So you can search there like on the screen COVID-19, the coronavirus information. So that is some example of that. Then next one is the blogs. So blogs is a useful, or must say reliable web sources because it provide the specific topic. So next one is books. So books is a reliable web sources because it provides specific facts or information of a subject on what you want to find out. The next one is the
buy.com. Great books. It is an article of a collection of free ebooks including fictions, non-fictions, references, and verses. So the last one is the journal articles. So journal articles, it provides information, the news, and etc. Also, it evaluated by experts in the field before being published. So it is evaluated before it is published by the experts on their field or study. So it is also a very reliable web sources, the journal articles. So the examples of reliable web sources are good for us because it is useful and accessible also. And then reliable web sources, it is very useful. You can get their information in these examples, the news, the research papers, and many others. So that is the examples of useful and reliable web sources. So that would be all. Thank you.
Information could be shared or transferred quickly. People are becoming or more interested in sharing information about themselves. Various aspects of our society are also being influenced by the information age, especially communication, economics, industry, health, and the environment. The rapid upgrade of information poses both positive and negative impact to our society. Therefore, we need to carefully check our motivates before disseminating information. We also need to verify information. Before believing them and using and sharing them, we should share information that could help improve our lives and others. Thank you for listening. Keep safe and God bless.